Guys, my name is Ankush Gaurav and I welcome you to Gone to series. In this tutorial, we will learn what is Tomcat Apache server as well as what is HTTP protocol. So let's start. Guys, when we say we want to develop a servlet application, what do we really mean by that? Well, we only mean that we want to create an application which would allow any human being to basically interact with it through a standard browser like Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, etc. You know, the way we access google.com, gonto.org or any other website using any standard browser, same way. So this is the overall workflow what we expect our servlet application to follow when it is ready. A user is going to make use of a standard browser to make a request to our servlet application, and then our application will simply process the request with whatever logic has been written in it, and then is going to send a response message back to the client. So this is what we expect our application to basically follow when it is ready. Now, an interesting point what you should note down over here is a servlet application in itself is actually not capable of listening to or responding to a user's request. A servlet application is not more than some bunch of Java files. That's all about it. When we say we have developed a servlet application, we actually mean that we have created some Java files, and that's all about it. Sometimes we call these Java files as servlet files as well. So when these Java files are not capable of listening to or responding to a user's request, then how do we make them to actually do so? Well, for this, we take help of an external software which is very popularly known with the name web server. A web server is a program which is capable of listening to and responding to a user's request. That's all about it. So what we do, we get a web server program, we install that in our computer, we put our servlet application into it, and then this is how it works. A client is going to make a request to the web server. Web server is going to make use of the logic whatsoever has been written in the servlet application to process the request, and then whatever message our servlet application wants to send to the client as a response, it sends it to the web server, and web server in turns send it to the client. This is how it works. So a web server program simply adds a feature to your existing servlet application to be able to listen to and respond to a user's request, and that's all about it. Now a question arises, which web server program you should use? Well, in market there are a lot of web server programs available. Some are freely available and some are paid ones. If you want to make use of freely available web server, then I suggest go about using Tomcat Apache web server with your servlet application. It's not only free, but at the same time it's one of the very popular web server programs available these days. So simply go to the Apache Tomcat website, download this server in your computer, and use it along with your servlet application to allow it to listen to and respond to any user's request. Guys, now that we have understood what is Tomcat Apache server all about, it's the turn of HTTP protocol. So what it's all about. Guys, in real life, when two persons communicate with each other, how do they communicate? To have effective communication between them. Well, both persons follow certain common set of rules and regulations. Like if both speak English, then both need to follow common English grammar set of rules. If they are not following this, in that case, their communication may not be effective. What one person is going to speak, other person may not be able to understand that fully. And what other person is going to speak, first person may not be able to understand fully. So in real life, to have effective communication between two persons, we always suggest that both need to follow common set of rules and regulations. In the same way, when two softwares communicate with each other on the web, they also need to follow certain common rules to have effective communication between them. Now, there are different set of rules and regulations exists on the web, which have been provided by many organizations around the globe, like HTTP protocol, SMTP protocol, FTP protocol, etc. Now, what set of rules and regulations softwares on the web are going to follow while having communication between them? That depends on what kind of softwares are communicating with each other. The kind of software we are talking about in this series, websites, web application. In this case, web server program and browser basically follow HTTP protocol. So both follow HTTP set of rules and regulations. And why they follow these rules and regulations? Just to have effective communication between each other, and that's all about it. Guys, in this tutorial, my main aim was to just introduce you with what overall is HTTP protocol, and not talking about what kind of rules and regulations come under it. In the subsequent tutorial, I would develop a servlet application. I would talk about these set of rules and regulations in detail. All right. In the next tutorial, I'm going to talk about how to integrate Tomcat Apache server with the project structure which we configured within the Eclipse IDE in the last tutorial. Guys, a big thank you for learning servlet application development with me. If you have any feedback or any constructive comment, or you want me to upload any specific topic in this series, do post me a comment down the video or write to me on this email ID for all of your queries. Please like this video, share this video if it has really proved useful to you, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Gone to Series. And I'm going to catch you in the next part of this tutorial.